It turns out you can no longer buy a paper newspaper in Harvard Square. That's an astounding fact. And to confirm it, I went into the square the other day and stopped by all the old places where you used to be able to buy a paper in the past. The Coop, Out of Town News, and ultimately I ended up at Leavitt Peirce. It's a far cry from how it was not that long ago when you'd stop by any one of a number of different shops, sit there and browse the magazines, read a paper, grab a coffee, and just have a moment to sit and relax or stand and read and think about the world as it was going by. Of course, that's all gone online now, and we spent a little time with Sean McGann over at Leavitt Peirce to try to understand a little bit better about just how much has changed and how much has stayed the same in one of the great corners of an American city, Harvard Square.
My name is Sean McGann. We are in the famous Leavitt Peirce.
So the reason I'm out today is I've heard, because I was in the Coop a couple of weeks ago, that you cannot buy a newspaper in Harvard Square anymore.
No, and I don't have any clue where to send people when they ask that question these days.
And so what does that mean? I mean, here we are in one of the oldest shops in Harvard Square, and if you can't buy a newspaper in Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Well, we're in a new era. I mean, it's sort of the death of the physical newspaper, your magazine, your almanac, things like that. Everything is sort of online these days. I mean, obviously, information is right at our fingertips in our pockets.
And how does that make you feel as somebody who's sitting in a store that has pipes and chess sets and, amazing stuff from 150 years ago? You've got letters from Herbert Hoover and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, I've always been sort of a person that's appreciated a sort of tangible object. And I do like peeling through books, magazines, things like that. The smell of the paper, the tooth of the page. There are certain qualities that enrich the information, the qualitative and the quantitative substance or content. But yeah, I'm surprised, being in such a historic shop, I do appreciate history quite a bit. Never thought I would work here. I'm a local, I'm from Waltham. I live in town, but I've been here for almost 10 years. It's been a pleasant experience, just really dealing with every kind of person you can think of. Places like this would have been obviously a lot more common, 50, 60 years ago. What makes us unique is that a lot of it just really hasn't changed, and that's sort of what makes us unique. We obviously have quite an eclectic inventory. Our bread and butter is tobacco, which is somewhat of a taboo thing these days for numerous reasons. But we sell all sorts of things. I mean, we're the original, I like to say, lifestyle store.
Could you give us just a brief tour of some of your more interesting things that you've got in the store? Would that
Sure.
Be okay?
Yeah, I mean, we sell pipe tobacco. Not many people sell smoke pipes and or sell. So, just like how they used to, with coffee or tea or anything else, we weigh it on the scale by the ounce, and we can blend things for people or just have a specialized personal touch, which makes us very unique, almost like a mixologist or a barista of tobaccos in a way. Like I said, this is just our bread and butter. We have an excellent shaped case. We sell curiosities, things like pocket watches and pocket knives, fine pens, barware, bookends, crystal balls. We sell kind of, the standby games, that have been around for at least 100 or so years or so. We have a great chess section, Go, Mahjong. This is my favorite case, is the grooming case. Safety razors, straight razors. We have to brush your mugs, brushes, soaps. It's actually, the old ways are sometimes better ways. They're extremely sustainable. There's less waste. It's easier on your wallet. You just have to slow down a bit and enjoy the ritual.
It's amazing, and
But-
just seeing some of this stuff certainly brings me back. But
But yeah, I mean, obviously we have sort of a salon style collection of photographs and advertisements over the years. We've been here since 1885. That's when the building, I think, was put up. The business is a couple of years older than that. It's almost 140 years, I think 138 years. But you can see pictures of the old Harvard teams. There's always been a loose affiliation with the university. At one point, you would buy your tickets to the game here. They would post up into the 90s. I think they still posted crew practice schedules in our windows. You know, if you needed to know where you go, you'd have to stop by Leavitt Peirce.
And speaking of which, it's the Head of the Charles weekend this weekend. So,
It is, yep.
So in the old days, they might see the schedule up there.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely incredible. What does and think about it just for a brief second of all the famous people who went to the university right across the street who probably
Absolutely.
stopped in this.
And most
store.
definitely graced us with their presence. A lot of, powerful, intelligent people.
Yeah.
You know.
What does the future hold? What does the future look like for a
Well,
store
the
like
future is
this?
bright. We, like many others, have experienced some difficulties the past couple of years. We were closed for a short period of time.
Related to COVID, or
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. But we have the most amazing customers who support us, and it spans the generations too. I just love seeing new faces. Like I said, I've been here for about 10 years, but I know most people by their name or their order at least. So we have regulars, and it's good. It's good to know that it's just more of a human experience.
And dare I ask, have you all gone online? Do you have an online presence?
We do have an online presence. We're not completely steeped in the past. You know, we take Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, things like that. We actually ship across the country, anywhere in the basically the continental U.S. You can have a bit of Leavitt Peirce.
Well, Sean, I want to just thank you for giving us a brief taste of one of the most historic and notable stores in Harvard Square, which is a very notable place in the U.S. So,
Well, thank you. Yeah.
thanks so much.
Yeah.